We could trim on this one.
Hey, it's recording.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
recording. I will trim all this.
Okay.
Here you go. So we could go like. Here we go.
Hey. Hey y'all, what's up?
Look who I have on my red
She
couch.
found me.
Where is Celeste? I found
Where
her.
in the world is Celeste today? Right
She's like
here on the
Carmen
red
Sandiego.
couch. I know, right? I'm on the red couch with my girl, Ilva. I'm so excited, so happy to be here.
Oh my
How many pictures we got like that in
I
that
know,
post?
right?
Funny.
Yeah.
But today we're here
Yep.
and we're excited. Connection available. Stay available, okay?
I
Connection.
know, right? Stay available. There we go. Ooh. Y'all got to see my house.
So the shenanigans
The
do
shenanigans.
not stop.
I know,
With
right?
Ilva and Celeste.
Never.
But today the topic is I don't mind waiting. What do you do while you're waiting? What are you waiting for? Like, we're waiting for things, goals, dreams that we have, visions, purpose. So you may be waiting on the same things or something different, but
Yeah.
what do you do while you're
Waiting.
and it's a lot of things you can do. So in February, we went to a retreat, and
Go
one of the
crazy.
messages was, while you're waiting, start creating, or something like that. And that was a really good message.
Yes.
During our Bible in 1 year plan, there was another indicator. What do you do while you're waiting for God or waiting for a prayer to be answered? And so I'm saying all that to say that this topic is important. We were talking this morning, and the topic just came to us, and Ilva was like, well, you know what, I'm in a waiting period. I was like, oh my God, me too. And therefore, you got this message. So it's already been confirmed 3 times, and that's why we're going to talk about this. So you can share with us, what are you doing? First of all, do you feel like you're waiting? Share what you're waiting on and what are you doing, because we all need the encouragement. Remember, we created Ilva and Celeste, mostly for Ilva and Celeste. We were like, hey, let's open this up to others too, because life is hard, but it's great when you have friends and other perspectives to help you get through some things. So thank you, Ilva, for coming up with this topic just 10 minutes ago.
Yep. And that's what happens.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles,
There
right?
you go. And those are the best. Yeah, because we do. Sometimes we feel like when we're waiting, it means nope, it ain't working out, because
I
you feel
know.
like it needs to be done yesterday. We spoke before and say things like that, but and that waiting period, that's really really important. It is as important as when you make it, because that's what you get built. That's where you're think of the house. When they put the foundation, they have to wait for that concrete to, dry and settles and all that good stuff. And without that, the finishing house does not hold it. So you gotta think about it, that in your waiting period, your character is being built.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, hold on.
Growth is happening too.
Exactly.
Change.
Yeah, and
So-
everything. And it doesn't mean to give up, that you gave up on everything. Just sometimes it's like, okay. And how you're waiting is like when you try every which avenue and things do not happen.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you are wrong or your dream or whatever it is. It's just like, okay, hold on, let me go back and let me learn something.
Yeah.
Let me do this, let me do that. Get all the information that you need.
Yeah.
I love to say, go window shopping, which for me, like I was just telling you, want to do my whole downstairs and everything. In the meantime, while I'm doing for all that to come through, I'm window shopping. Okay, who could do my floors? Who could do my cabinet? Who could do my sink? Who could do my, my countertops and such, my doors, so I have all that. Then so like that, I could come to a final decision. And yeah, it ain't gonna happen tomorrow, because trust me, it ain't gonna happen tomorrow. But I want it to happen yesterday. But my character is being built in, like, okay, you gotta have that faith, you gotta hold on, you just cannot give up that.
Right.
Because this too also shall pass.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then it's
that's
something
true.
new to the next.
That's true. And you can always think about, where you were or something you prayed for. Like, I like to go back and look at, man, what did I pray for that was answered? And that gives you encouragement too, and strength to keep going. Like, okay, well, if I pray for that and I got that, then what I'm praying for now will come too. And so I also believe that, like, what are you asking for? What are you waiting for? Is it your purpose? Is that, God's will for you? Um, so maybe if you've been waiting a long, long time and you're not seeing any signs that it's going to happen, then maybe you're waiting for the wrong thing. Maybe I feel like with me, so now I'm going to talk about me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like with me, like, yeah, there are things I want, but I know there's a bigger calling on my life. So I'm like, I hear messages and voices of God that say, Celeste, that's not big enough. Like, it has to be bigger. And I'm like, okay, well, this big. And then I'll get a sign that, yes, that's what it's supposed to be. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're waiting for something too small.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm
It
saying
can
that in the
happen.
most humble way. But maybe it's too small. Maybe it's not big enough. Maybe it's too big for you right now. Like, you really have to listen to those voices and like, set yourself up. That's why devotion is so important too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to have that time with yourself, with your source, whoever your source is, your higher power. Like, you have to have that time with that thing, because it's in those times where things are revealed. And so, it you could be waiting for something too big, you could be waiting for something too small. You just have to pray about it and be
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, maybe, and not that it's too big that you can't ever have it, but maybe it's just too big for you right now. Like, maybe you have to grow a little.
Mm-hmm.
A little change has to take place before you can finally get that thing that you want. Because, again, same thing happened for me. I was like, praying for something and wanting something, and I'm like, you're not ready for that right now. But I feel like when I prepare myself for that thing, now the vision was just clear. Like, oh, okay, I had to go through that, or I had to, you know, grow into that
Mm-hmm.
before, it was given to me.
Right.
So,
Right. And no, and sometimes on that waiting period, um, it's not a bad thing. It's just exactly
mm-hmm.
what you do with it. So either you mope about it and you just complain, and when you complain, you remain. Pastor Chad always says,
Oh,
however,
yeah.
comma, do something constructive about it, because sometimes on that waiting period, something else is birth. So let's say, like you were mentioning, if you're waiting on something and that's not it, while you wait on that, then this is being birthed. And so you
Right.
see, the waiting period is never a waste
Yes.
of time. It's a waste of time if you could just sit there and look, do nothing. You're like, okay, I'm
Right.
just waiting, and it's okay to be on that waiting period, but do something on the side that then is gonna lead you to that, and then you're like, oh, this
Yeah.
is why. So basically, like in the army terms, when you do your little boot camp, when you go training, and when you go to school, you start somewhere, right? So before you get that degree,
Yeah.
like my daughter doesn't know what
Like,
she wanted
complete
to do.
some things.
Right.
Yeah.
She graduated high school last year. She didn't know what to do. So I was like, oh, then you just take your general classes. Go there. So while she's waiting and thinking, I wanna, develop this, I
Yeah,
wanna do
that's
that,
good.
then get rid of all those general classes that you eventually have to
You're
take,
gonna have to take
right, to
anyway.
get there. So she's thinking, okay, now maybe psychology, maybe this, because as when you take all those classes, you realize, I didn't think about it that way,
Yeah,
because
that's
she's learning
good. That
so
was a good
much.
example.
So just think of it that way. You're taking all
Yeah.
these on your wedding period. This is your class right now. That's your classroom. What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah.
Because then you're not gonna grow. What about if where you want to go to, there is a part of you, maybe a character that it hasn't developed yet, like you said, and grow into it. That you have to grow into it in order to be
Yeah.
able to deal with that.
Yeah.
So
you have to grow into it before you go into it. That
There
just
you
came
go.
to me.
There you go. You cannot go just jump into 11 feet if you don't know how to swim. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to swim, you're just eventually gonna drown there. So you have to start little by little. And what it is nowadays, we know with social media and media and all that, thank goodness for that. But that we just gotta press the button and everything is just gonna go.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes old school still works, which is waiting. Sorry,
Yeah.
and always being the bearer of bad news. However, it just some things do work, and you know how they say it was worth the wait. It's gonna
Yeah.
be worth the wait because
It is.
think about it on the ladder of success. You either climb it really quick and you miss something, you know, and then you're gonna have to come back down to redo that because it's just gonna crumble up here because you missed that ingredient. you know, as to if you get all the ingredients in step one, step two, and then all that comes together to have your final product. You know, you don't have to go back. And you know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, it's just like good things do take time. So in that waiting
Yeah.
period, you know, surround yourself with people that are gonna build you onto that you're gonna learn, that you know, to school you to be like, no, don't do it this way, do it this way.
Yeah.
You know, it were, and you know what? You also learn in what works for you. You get to learn about yourself. You know, you're stronger than what you think you are.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, whoa, I didn't know that. You're gonna implement things.
Yeah.
That's just the
That's
way I
true.
look at it. You know, so
That's very true. Especially with hanging with great people. Great people. I read something today. Great people make you feel great too.
true. Yep.
And that's the truth. And like, it's not. It will not be done in vain. If you believe it, if you see it, if you know for sure that that this is what you're doing, because I mean, some people do things not even knowing if that is this what I really want, or is this, you know, what my mom wanted me to do? Is this what my family wanted me to do? Is this what my husband or wife wanted me to do? Like, is this their dream for me? You know, I don't care how many generations of doctors you have in your family. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe it was meant for you to be an engineer.
Ta-da.
You know, you don't have to go off, you know, your past is what I'm saying. So if you know, without a shadow of a doubt, we're in court now.
Yeah.
You know what you're supposed to be doing, then you do that.
Yeah, and you
do
know
that,
what?
it will happen.
That's true. And while you're waiting and figuring out what is it that you're supposed to be doing, and you try, well, doctor because of family, not you already scratched that out because that's not me. You know, whatever it may be, and it calls you somewhere else. Then there goes. You see, it wasn't a waste of your waiting time. So you know, don't mind the wait.
Yeah.
Do not mind that. And I know we do because I do. I'm like, oh my goodness, when
I
is this
want
gonna
it
go?
now.
Yes, you know. But then if you sit back and you like, you know, your cup of wine, your cup of coffee, water, whatever, and you like, and you study and try to pull yourself back and review and be like, okay, what is it that I was missing? Sometimes you miss that ingredient. Sometimes you're like, what is it? And it's something I don't know what it is, you know, and voila. And it happens. And then when you start talking, some people will tell you, and that's when it be like, boom, right idea. Ha, that's what I was missing, you know? So if you didn't, and if you miss that screw, it's just going to fall apart. So do not mind the waiting. That's where your character is being polished, is being rebuilt and built, and getting stronger.
Yes.
So know that, know that, and wonder, why am I waiting? What is it? And learn from that instead of looking at it so negative,
Right.
So.
And make sure that you love what you're waiting on, because in those moments where it's hard and you're tired of waiting, you will like give up on it. So if it's easy for you to give up on it, then I can tell you right now, that's not what you were supposed to be waiting on. You're supposed to be waiting on something that you love. You're supposed to be waiting on something that is your passion. You're supposed to be waiting on something that you will wake up every morning and do for free. Don't do it for free. But I'm saying, like, it is like that. Like, you're supposed to be waiting on something that, like, just fuels you, that you know that you know that you know. This is what I'm supposed to be waiting on. So we just want to encourage you today to, while you're waiting, create, in the words of Michaela Rowe.
Yeah.
While you're waiting, be great.
That's right.
In our words, doing, like Ilva just said, doing those general things that you're going to have to do anyway. If it's a business plan that you're going to have to do, start it now. If it's you want to remodel your home, blueprint, whatever, like start now. It's things that you can do while you're waiting.
It's true. The waiting period is not a waste period. Look at it again. It's just how you perspective. A waiting period is part of. If you didn't have that waiting period, it's just crazy. You know,
it's all part of the process.
It is a whole process.
Because it's a wait.
We sometimes think that waiting is just that still. No, waiting. You could wait while you're still moving. And everything. Again, big corporations were not made by and everything. Yeah, you waited, while that big corporation was going on, you were waiting in the part, so you're still working in the small part to build that. Then step two, you're still waiting on that big thing, but you still gotta do something to get there. I mean, you cannot get to step 10 without stepping on step 1.
Yes. And guess
you know?
what? Another news flash. While you're waiting, it's some things that's gonna take place.
And sometimes it's not gonna get out as well. Sometimes you gotta get rid of some stuff.
Yes.
some things
Yes.
and some bodies.
Yes,
You know?
yes, the ugly stuff. That's
The-
what I was about to mention. Like,
They go
while
some-
you're waiting, it's gonna feel like you're in a wilderness, that you're all there by yourself, but you keep waiting. Somebody gonna come along, and give you some water. Somebody gonna come along and give you that fuel that you need. While you're waiting, there's gonna be attacks. You're gonna feel like, ugh, like why is everybody against me? But you keep on waiting. Don't let anything take you off.
Yeah, right.
Your path from
And,
waiting.
and if you're being attacked by people and all that, don't look at it the wrong way. That means to tell you while you're going up, they're not coming along with you.
The
So it's
harder
like,
it
look at it the
gets.
good way, be like, oh, thank you, because you just answered. It's like, okay, done. We're not going here with Rosie,
Yeah.
because he or she is like, it just, don't get me wrong. Obviously, things happen in the whole process. Again, it's just like, I'm not gonna look at it as a I'm beat. That's it. I surrender, or just keep on. Just keep on keeping on regardless of the matter. Sometimes you have to unload some stuff and pack up some extra stuff.
Yeah.
Because it just, the trip might be a little bit longer, and it's okay. Maybe you forgot, you just got a water bottle. Maybe you need not a thermos of water bottle because it's a little bit longer. But it doesn't mean you're not gonna get there. Like with sometimes when you take those long trips and you put the address on your GPS, the GPS may not recognize that in another state there's a detour. But as you get close to it, it detours you. But it doesn't mean that it changes on the destination where you're going. It's just taking you another roundabout. Because if you go through that detour, it's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. You're either gonna go down the ditch because something's happening.
Yeah.
Your car's gonna break down. Something is going to happen. So
Yeah.
when you take that detour, the destination does not change. You don't say, "Oh, let's give up. Let's go back home because we're done." No, you're like, "Okay, well, this detour is gonna take me," and you go.
far, you gotta keep going. Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta make it to your destination. And if you're really paying attention, it'll tell you that, hey, there's a speed bump ahead, or there's a traffic jam ahead. So prepare for risk. And like it was said, if you have to detour, if you have to change the date on some things, if you have to change the way you're doing things, it's okay. It's your plan. It's your vision.
You just have to be willing. You just have to be open to it. And being willing and open to it, I don't think that is like, okay and easy. It's something that you have to fight through it, but you still have to. And even though you don't want to, you're like, I don't want to do this, but I know I have to. You just have to be willing through all that whole pain, regardless of the matter, because nothing is waste. As long as it's, at the end of the road, there's always something good. Regardless of the matter, Now, I'm a positive person, that's why I say that. A negative person is going to tell you something else. It's like, what? No. Just keep on keeping on and you will get there, So do something. Don't mind the wait. It's good for you.
It is good for you.
It is good for you,
Yes.
So think about it. I mean, a baby, takes 9-10 months to, you don't be like at 4 months, okay, hold on, because it's not gonna survive. You know what I'm saying? So if you just give up on your whatever it is too early, it's not gonna survive it. So see it all through.
That's right. Nurse your baby, because
Nurse
whatever
it.
you're waiting on is your baby. So you treat it as such. Yeah.
Right, we always say nobody treats our babies like we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's exactly right. I cannot expect Celeste to treat my baby, whatever it may be, the way I do, because it's mine. I don't treat hers the way she would. I respect it. And I'm like, oh yeah, da-da-da. But she has to nurse it. She has to do whatever because it's her baby. So think about it that way as well. Whatever rocks your boat, whatever puts you like, oh, yes, then you do it that way.
Right.
Doesn't matter. So
Right.
don't mind the wait.
Don't mind the wait. So this was great. Thank you, Elva, for this topic again. Thank you,
Okay.
God. Thank you, universe. Because
Everything.
we didn't know what we was going to talk about. And we've been thinking about it for days. And then it just came to
Sometimes
us.
it happens like that. It's like, how about that? How about that? Yes.
So we will see you all back here next
Thank you.
Thursday on the red couch. Yep, I'll be right here on the red couch again
I know.
next Thursday.
I know. I'm sorry, but we do our best while she is doing her stuff to bring you still Ilva and
Hashtag.
Celeste.
Thursday talk on the red couch. Hashtag Ilva and Celeste. Hashtag.
One and only. We are unique.
All right. See y'all later. Bye.
Bye. We are unique, girl.